open this up for public hearing. We'll have our customary time limits of 3 minutes. Green light will be go. Yellow light, we have 30 seconds left, and red light, please stop. So, who would like to go first? Please identify yourself.
My name is Dr. Joyce Murphy. Commissioners, thank you for allowing me to speak to you this morning. I own a parcel of property on Rhodey Drive. I have the 2 tax parcel numbers here, and I will give this document to you, Board Secretary. I purchased this property in 2005 as a commercial piece of property. I paid a substantial amount of money for this commercial property in order to develop a professional business center, which was planned to bring in several new businesses and approximately 40 livable wage jobs. This property has been designated as commercial as early as 1970. The property was then downzoned from its commercial status as I was already in the process of planning and implementing the development. I already met with a number of your staff in development. I had met with the State Highway Department. It is totally surrounded by commercial property, and I'm going to leave a map here. It's on busy Rhodey Drive. Everything around me is commercial. There is no residential. As I stated, I had already met with several county officials as well as the State Department of Transportation for easement permits and access permits. My financing was secured. I was already paying for a loan, and the preliminary septic work, architectural plans, and agreement with the contractor had been secured. During all the meetings with my county and state personnel, never was I told that there was the possibility this was going to happen, that I would lose this commercial status. And in fact, none of the property owners knew about it until we read about it in the newspaper after the deed was done. I had numerous meetings. I had told afterwards with 2 county commissioners and with 2 senior planners in the county. I told them of my serious problem, that I had already spent a large amount of money to purchase this property and to already start the development process. These planners and the commissioners told me there was nothing that could be done about this, and I would be wasting my time and money to try and get the commercial status back again, and in any foreseeable time. And in fact, one of the commissioners told me I would be best to just walk away from this project, but that first they didn't bother to tell me that they would reimburse me in any way for my financial losses. I have now waited 4 years to build an environmentally responsible professional business center that would bring in a substantial amount of revenue to the county in terms of taxes, jobs, and family wages. It would bring in more professionally educated citizens who would buy houses and support other local businesses. I was told by one commissioner that property taxes were enough to sustain the county and more development or jobs were not that important to the county as long as wealthy outsiders continued to build big houses here. Due to the lack of business development in this county, I find it difficult to find qualified employees here. I usually have to advertise out of the area to find technical people to work for me. And when I talk to young people that live here that I think are smart, they're out of here as soon as they graduate because they know there's nothing here for them. As you've recently heard from your own auditor and your own county treasurer, as well as yesterday's newspaper, and your own staff, the hammer has fallen, and you do not have the money to keep this county functioning with just residential property taxes. In fact, it's so bad, nobody's even buying booze in this county anymore. They go over to the Costco in Silverdale. The county is now in a serious deficit, and you will need additional sources of revenues to keep it working. You talk about local shopping. I'm going to follow up with him. I can tell you from my own experience, this does not happen. Many businesses have already closed now due to the lack of support for economic development here, and now the economy adds to that, versus the 2 surrounding counties who are booming. They have planned well and are now taking advantage of the revenues that are spent by people from Jefferson County going to other counties to shop. I believe this is only going to get worse with the bridge closure. As a former commissioner once said to me, you can't even buy underwear in Jefferson County. If you want to be seen with Jefferson County residents and with officials from Jefferson County and people who work here, go to the Walmart or Costco in Squim or Silverdale or over here in Paulsbo, and I can guarantee you will see all of us over there shopping. And this is going to continue to happen unless you take a leadership role and reinstate this property and other similar properties to their original commercial status as it had already been for a long time. If you designate this property as commercial, then you must allow it to be developed. It would be illegal and egregious not to allow the property owner to use the property as intended unless this is just another ruse to collect higher property taxes on an unusable piece of property. I've been asked by several residents of other counties as well as officials from other counties to relocate my project to their county. They will help me with tax deferral and other incentives. They want the business. They want me to come there with this project. They're offering it as of yesterday even. I talked to someone. I prefer to live and work here. This is where I want to be. But however, this serious financial burden that I've had to deal with for years has kept me from increasing my business, hiring more associates, as it has impeded my ability to make a living. This county needs this kind of responsible development, and you need it now, not tomorrow or next year. The revenues and jobs that will be created are sustainable and renewable, and I hope that you all can be responsible and do the leadership thing to reinstate this commercial status, to make this positive, revenue positive project go forward. If you do not take this positive action, I believe there will be the potential for further legal action against the county. I respectfully request that you take action on this immediately. And I just heard again that you're going to maybe potentially pass this, but you're not going to allow septic development in it. I don't understand that. If you can develop this property with an appropriate septic system, knowing that there's going to be the time that you have to hook up to the sewer system, why will that not be allowed? And I could tell you that if you don't do that, you're going to be faced with a lawsuit. Thank you again for letting me speak, and I really appreciate your discussion on this today.
It's not going on right now.